Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery, and I have been editing pictures and making slideshows, and I want to paint. I have what I call a ring pour cup. It's just a cream pitcher, and I am going to put some of this pretty purple enamel, and I'm not sure who made it. This is Anita's White Metallic, and I'm going to be using a little bit of that between everything else. I'm not going to be, that is the Mysterious from Art Minds they don't make anymore. I'm not going to be too concerned with the order of anything. This is a Purple Flash from Deco-Art that's a color shifting paint. I'm just going to keep going with adding a little tiny bit of, because I'm running out of that. So the one thing I really want right now is in my hand, and I can't have it because it's not open. Maybe it'll come out, maybe it won't. I have found, oh cool, I have found that my tweezers work well to clear bottle tops. Very, very well, and it makes me very happy to say so. I think I'm going to use, it's open, and it is open, cool, a little bit of this Velveeta color. I like it next to the orange. And that's something I made with yellow and a little bit of orange, and no big deal. This is a multi-surface acrylic neon from Deco-Art. This is the dioxazine purple, probably from Hobby Lobby. I think pretty much any brand that says dioxazine on it, assuming I'm saying that right, that is, come out. I want that. Give it to me now. I've been doing stuff all day and chomping at the bit to get in here. This is a Deco-Art Americana Emerald Metallic. This is a color I made up myself. Looks like I'm putting a rainbow in there, which is fine. I'm going to use a funnel and invert it, so it might be kind of different. I don't want a lot of layers in between, and usually the white almost always disappears. That is, I believe, a blue from Modern Masters. That's Venetian or Venice, whatever. I'm not remembering. I still want that white. So if this works, I might put some black in. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. That's very good. And I'm trying to change up my colors, because I always tell you guys, use colors you like, and then sometimes the most obnoxious combinations of all work out the best. I'm just basically putting everything that's open into this. And I'm going to put it into a puddle of gold and see how that works. That is my magenta with some iridescent pearl fine in it from Deco-Art. And I have gotten down to my favorite Deco-Art color shift, which is the turquoise. It may have some other word with it, like flash or something, and I don't know it. And it's kind of cool that I've only gone halfway, because I really don't want to have so much more paint than I need, although it looks like a lot more paint than I need, so I could be wrong about that. So that was just a turquoise metallic. I'm not sure who made it. I use pretty much any craft paint at Hobby Lobby that's on sale, and they're almost always like on sale for 30% off. Let's see what's else. I think I'm going to finish up with some of my purple neon from Deco-Art. Let's see how I feel about that. Yeah, I'm a pretty happy girl with that. And I thought I was going to add something else. But you know what? I will always add other things as I go along. So let's get a few of these things out of the way, because I might be grabbing an edge catcher right off. I want to put some more orange in there. What I really want is gold, but I don't want it to sink. And I'm running very, very low on gold. And I didn't open the smaller bottle, so I guess since I've just announced that I'm going to use gold, I'm going to open this as best I can. Put some in the front and right down the middle. And I'm really afraid that that might be my substitute gold that dried very matte. So, being that that's what I recall, I bought a semi-gloss gold from Deco-Art Americana to substitute my 24 karat gold, and it did not do that very well. It's sort of like brown mustard. but I'm sure that this is going to be okay. So quick like a bunny, we're going to grab the white paint again. Grab my OXO omelet turning spatula, flip and fold. Get everything out of the way that's going to keep my turntable from spinning. I just want a layer of wet paint on the canvas. I don't expect to see any of it at all. What it's there for is to help the puddle of paint that I'm going to add my what looks like a ring pour cup into, which is actually just going to turn out to be something that gets poured into the funnel, and in my opinion that makes it a dirty pour. Even though it looks like a ring pour now, I guess we're going to learn together, because this is my second ever reverse funnel pour. And I can't do my edges or I won't be able to flip the canvas. Let's see if I can get this right. Into the bucket. Okay, so my funnel was right here, and it is right here. And I am going to use, I can't use that gold. I was thinking I was going to use that gold. I'm going to use this gold and make sure that I go hunt all over town for some gold tomorrow. Come on, out you come. Okay, now I have to spread that around a little bit, and that's not open, and I'm going to want it open, so I'm going to jam my tweezers in there, which, by the way, work really well as bottle, ouch, clearers, as long as you don't stab yourself with them. Ouch. They're very sharp. And now I'm very golden. Very. So let's give this a bit of a spread. I could even torch it to get rid of the bubbles. Let's do that. Now, if I don't want to be in danger of dripping this, I really do need to spread that out a little bit more, because I'm going to be flipping the canvas onto the funnel, which is probably probably a little risky, to say the least. So I've got my funnel top covered with my finger, maybe a better finger. Maybe, yeah. Okay, here goes nothing again. I didn't put any black in there. I want some black in there. And I'm going to use my black enamel. And I just squeezed it all over, because a little bit of black, oh, I did have the purple. I'm going to pour that right down toward the center. Do I have enough? That's the question. I'm going to put some more in there. It is every color of the rainbow. And I see that thing that does not belong there, which is a hair. An animal hair, more than likely. For those of you wondering about my dog and how he's faring after being hit by a car, he's okay. So I'm going to place that funnel and try and keep myself from dropping anything. It's sort of like an open cup, only not. Sort of like a dirty pour, only not. And I am spinning the funnel and lifting it a little bit so it has a chance to float. I feel someone is approaching my studio door as I'm recording. They will have to wait. I'm just going to pull gently with whatever's still hanging out underneath there. It's looking like an ammonite. That's cool. Alright, so there's some beautiful cells in there, and I'm going to grab a Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatula. Take all my extra paint. It's looking wonderful and celly. And put it right at the end of that, because paint will flow to paint. And when paint flows to paint, you move it, and it makes cells too. As much as I would like to try and get whatever's in that funnel out, I'll evidently be making a painting after dinner. I've got sticky wrap. This is some pretty ugly sticky wrap, but that's going to go over that cup, and that's my recommended style of protection. I'm already thinking I don't have enough magenta, and I'm prejudging, and I should not. So oftentimes, if you torch soon enough in the process of a fluid acrylic painting, with pouring medium in, if you're just trying this or you're new to it, you can often create cells when it's fresh. I need a few things away, and I need to make sure that I have access to my edge catchers, which are basically covered in paint. And I flopped one of these in a recent painting, and I'm not going to do that again. And these things are going in the bucket. Now, what I want to do, and what I did last time, was add paint around the edges to flow the other paint. And I may use some of my purple flash from Folk-Art because I have a nice quantity of it going. Not seeing as many cells as I saw the last time I did this, but I also used paint that was 24 hours or at least overnight old. I am seeing some pretty impressive cells. I'm not feeling like I'm losing anything on that leading edge that I want to keep. And when I get to a color that I want to keep, that's when I'm going to add my paint to that leading edge. Sometimes I'll go back and forth so that the new paint I add blends before I start to move it. Got some really interesting cells in there. I'm liking that the gold sort of has leached up through. You can't trust me, by the way, not to do whatever I feel like doing, so this may not stay a straight funnel flip. Flipping funnel? It's a flipping funnel! Okay, so I really want some of this, but that's going to be something I'm going to add afterwards. I'm going to put a little more where I want to flow the paint down, like in the middle and on that end, because I sort of want it to catch up. Once you get an even flow, an even mass flowing, then you can have more control over where your paint flows. And I'm going to let that flow right up to that edge catcher. And even though it's not totally, what do I want to call it, airtight, as long as I don't flow it too far away, I can usually scrape that back across. I can always use that painted edge on my edge catcher to add to the next section too. I'm going to let that go all the way down before I rock it. And this is what I mean. I'm going to level out and just rock it ever so gently. Then I'm going to send it back down there so I cover that spot. And it does not matter if I don't completely cover it, because you can always put your fingers into the gaps. I really like this through here, and I'm loving the colors that I'm seeing coming out. I really think this actually works quite nicely. And I'm watching my flow, and you're watching my flow too. And I think I'm going to give myself permission to have a little... That's not it. I wish this cap didn't flop in the way, but... Now, even though I'm using an edge catcher to stop the paint, I can also use the edge catcher and keep the paint on the edge catcher. I'm just going to fill in my little tiny gap right now with the paint that came off on the tile. I'm going to use a thumbnail so I don't destroy my edge. I don't really want to lose much of that paint, and I don't want to have to put it back on somewhere else, although I really could. I'm going to gently just rock the edge catcher and scrape it up. Oh, and it's all over my hand now. Okay then. Oh, and there it goes. It's a tradition now. We're dipping funnels. And look. Okay, so I took a few days off. Couple, anyway, I gotta rinse my hand off. Hey, even I get out of practice sometimes. You know what happens. You're a bubble, go away. Okay, so you really have some great colors happening. And I kind of even like those shapes. But I don't think I'm going to stop there. I am going to take whatever's dripped down on this side, and I'm going to grab myself another Oxo omelet turning spatula and take all of my beautiful colors right off that edge catcher and add them right into the artwork. Just sliding that spatula across. Good thing I have a few spatulas, that's all I can say. So I'm kind of thinking that I would like to try, oh, I did that tail thing. I hate doing those tails. I'd rather have fingerprints than tails. That doesn't sound right at all. Alright, so that's the Anita's White Pearl. I'm going to grab an entirely new edge catcher. Well, maybe not entirely new, but a different edge catcher. And try and follow through with the rest of this now that I've traumatized myself some. I really like that white. So maybe I can just get all of this to come down in this one corner without making all the stuff I love disappear in an extreme way. Yeah, now it's time to move the paint where I want it. And I think what I'm going to do is grab another spatula and use that paint right there on that edge. Wow. So I do sell my artwork, and my email address is directly below the link tree where you can find the Amazon link, and if you shop there at no added cost to you, it helps me out. And also below the Linktree link is Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, my website. On the Amazon link you can find my 2 books. One is called Because I Can, and the other one is called Unlimited Possibilities. And I want a torch, and I kind of am liking this negative space down here, but I'm thinking I wanted some of this purple flash so much so that I'm just going to give myself what I want. Because when don't I, as someone pointed out to me recently. I use golden GAC 800 in all of my paint mixtures, which means that I don't have cracking very often when I leave my paint heavy. And that is what it's for. So, where are my skewers? My skewers are everywhere except for where I want them. And I'm going to take the painty but thin end of that and give myself one little tiny spiral. And I will be fixing my edges for a while. I'm going to tell you guys I have Facebook groups, Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Appreciationers for students. Expressionist Art Studio Gallery Totes and More is where you'll find a Shop Now button that'll take you to Fine Art America and Pixels.com. Yes, I see stuff on that edge, but otherwise it's pretty darn cool. The torch to release the bubbles caught in the paint, and maybe, if I'm lucky, to create patterns. I am loving the colors I have in here. I've got one more minute to tell you guys. I really appreciate all the donations you've made to help keep me painting all this time. Thank you so much. If you're interested in helping support the production of videos, then your donations through PayPal or Patreon work out really well for me. And if you do that, you will be automatically entered in the monthly drawing. The monthly drawing this month is on the 4th week of August. But you will always be able to see the prizes for the monthly drawing on the end screens of any video, on the exhibition video there. And I want some black right here. Don't ask me why. Maybe because I want the eye to jump back and forth between those 2 places. And that was my black enamel. So I love you guys. There's going on 90,000 of you. Yay! I love you all. And I hope you keep asking me questions. And I love your comments. Thank you so much for raising my morale. If you have questions, please feel free to ask them. I will get back to you as soon as I can. And don't forget my email address if you have an interest in purchasing an artwork or scheduling a class with me at the house in Spring Hill, Florida at the studio. Please use that email address. And be sure to know that Pinterest is where I post most of my most recent artworks. I love you guys.